Hello, happiness seekers. My name is Klaudia, and welcome to the Happiness Challenge, where I test drive the best happiness hacks that science has on offer so that you can create more happiness at work, in your relationships, and most importantly, in your own skin. And today I'm bringing you an episode which was inspired by me being a speaker at the Lean In Food for Thought event here in London. And Lean In is an organization set up by Sheryl Sandberg that works to help women achieve their ambitions and create a more equal society. And I was invited to talk to amazing female professionals about happiness in the workplace. And in our discussion, it became quite clear that before we can even start creating more happiness, it doesn't matter in what aspect of our life, we really need to understand, first of all, how happy we truly are and what makes us happy. And it really made me realize that we measure, track, and count many things in life: steps, sleep patterns, social media engagement, spending, money. By why not track our happiness and mental health? How do we know how happy we are and what makes us happy? Nick Marks, the founder of Friday Pulse and one of the UK's leading experts and statistician on happiness, he said that if we want to take our happiness seriously, we really need to reflect on it. But most importantly, we need to put a number on it. So, in this episode, I'm going to provide you with 5 ideas of how to measure and track your happiness so that you understand it a little bit better. And also, you have a set of data, you have a set of insights to create more personal satisfaction and fulfillment going forward. So, let's do it. Idea 1 is to understand your overall life satisfaction. This method, in terms of measuring our happiness, is about taking a step back and gaining a bigger perspective on your life as a whole. Ed Diner and his colleagues created a life satisfaction scale, and it has 5 statements. And you rate each statement with a score 1 to 7. 1 means strongly disagree, and 7 strongly agree. And then you sum up your ratings to determine your overall life satisfaction score. So I'm going to read you those 5 statements, and you're going to give it a score 1 to 7. 1 strongly disagree, 7 strongly agree. Okay, let's do this. Number 1, in most ways, my life is close to my ideal. Number 2, I'm satisfied with my life. Number 3, the conditions of my life are excellent. Number 4, so far I have the important things I want in my life. And number 5, if I could live my life over, I would change almost nothing. So as you can see, those statements are really wide. They're very broad and encouraging us to take much wider perspective. And the maximum score you can get here is 35. So first of all, add it up, see what is your score, and then think, why have you rated certain statements in such a way? So for example, if on the question, so far I have the important things I want in my life, you may be scored lower. Why do you think is that? What are you missing in life? How could you improve this score going forward? The second idea for gaining some insights about our happiness is about reflecting on your daily activities and habits. So, this is about uncovering what makes you happy or unhappy from moment to moment in life. And this method is called episode measurement. It encourages us to assess how happy we are at the particular time frame. Now, in this moment, today, this week. And also when engaging in specific activity, so that you can understand that, okay, this specific activity really boosts my happiness. So I'm going to repeat it in the future to build more happiness. You may also identify specific situations that drain your energy, drain your happiness, and you may want to reflect, okay, how do I reduce the amount of those situations in my life? How could I change those specific circumstances? So I have used this method to reflect on my happiness, especially first thing in the morning and also at the end of the day for a few weeks, just to give myself some insights. And it's a really simple, I've done it in a very simple way by having an Excel, and I just have three questions. So I was asking myself how happy I am at this particular moment in time. And I was giving myself a score between 1 to 5, one very unhappy, five very happy. What am I exactly doing? And where I am? And with who I am. Okay. And it's very interesting because you suddenly see your fluctuations of your happiness across the week, but also you realize where your happiness goes up and down and why. So that method, for instance, helped me realize that I'm quite grumpy in the morning. I haven't really thought about it before. But actually, if I start spending time with others, I practice gratitude, I start learning something new, I start doing something creative, then by the evening, generally my happiness was jumping to that 5. So the idea of this practice is that it gives you an insight of what makes you happy and what can you do more often to get more happiness daily, because after all, day to day, happiness is a set of happy habits that we repeat every day. So let's identify the habits that really building our happiness, and let's change those that maybe are undermining it. The third insight is about assessing how happy you are currently at work and in your career or in your project, whatever you are currently concentrating on professionally. So at work, as in life, we'll be experiencing different level of happiness, and happiness will be fluctuating up and down depending what is happening. But generally, it's really important to remember that they are key elements that impacts our happiness at work, and if we work on those elements, we can boost our engagement and motivation. So again, you can score these elements with a scale of 1 to 5. When 1 is, well, I'm actually struggling with this specific factor, and 5 stands, wow, I'm smashing it. It's really strong factor. So this is based on fantastic research by Dan Pink, and these 5 elements are fairness. To what extent do you feel valued and respected in the workplace? Autonomy. How much influence do you have in your role when making key decisions? Mastery. To what extent do you understand your strengths you want to be known for? You are able to apply them. And also, how much opportunities do you have to learn and progress at work? Really, really important. Purpose. To what extent your daily tasks contribute to the bigger purpose of your organization, and is that bigger purpose of your organization aligning with your values? And final one, that sense of belonging. To what extent do you feel connected and included within your team? So again, similarly, like previously, have a look at your score. Why did you give certain element 1 or 2? Why did you give it 4 and 5? Which elements brings you happiness already and you can very much strengthen this, or which element you really need to improve on and you need to have a think about what actions to take to improve those. So for example, if you feel that you don't have enough autonomy at work, how can you build trust with people around you to gain that more influence? Or if you feel you're not having that sense of belonging in the workplace, how could you engage in curiosity, conversations with other people to build stronger working relationship? Okay, so idea 4, an insight that can understand our motivations. This is really interesting because I wouldn't say it's quite straightforward, but hear me out. This experts actually putting forward that when we experience a fear of missing out, so the FOMO, or we experiencing a moment that we are envious of something that other people do, those moments are actually a fantastic opportunity to collect data, to understand what are we currently missing in life. Are there certain values are not met? Are we motivated by something we really want to have, but we don't have it at the moment? Are we having certain regrets? And that piece of data can motivate us to take a next positive step. So, for example, it might be that you are feeling envious because one of your friends is traveling, taking time away from commitments, work responsibilities. Does that mean you actually need a break? Does it mean you need to take a bit of rest? Does it mean you are up for something new, a change, an adventure? It might be that you are envious of someone connecting with other people, someone socializing in a group of people. Again, does that mean you would want to reconnect with your friends? Does it mean that your friendships are quite important to you, but maybe you've neglected them? So really interesting concept that actually, rather than really trying bury away that feeling of envy, it's much more healthy to write down what you are envious of and get curious. Why is that? And really treat it as a data of understand what else we're missing in life, what else we could want to learn, experience, incorporate in life to feel happier. Now, if you feel, oh, I'm not sure, I want to kind of look at that feeling of envy, or actually, I don't maybe experience it that often to provide me the insights, you can flip it on its head and actually track people that are inspiring you and then thinking why they are inspiring you. Or you could track a random acts of kindness that you are engaging in towards other people. Because again, the happier we are, the kinder we get. So you can think about it from different perspective, but the idea is if we see something that we are envious of, or we see something that we inspired by, is to really think about why is that, and what does it tell me about my motivation, my values, and ultimately about my happiness. And the final one idea for gaining some insights into our happiness is actually collect stories about our happiness, about our fulfillment, about positive impact in the world. And the aim again here is to understand what is our biggest purpose, what overall make us happy, what relationships are important to us, what makes us feel fulfilled. And in those stories, in those memories, we can find some themes that can help us to build and create more happiness in the future. And this doesn't have to be anything extraordinary. In fact, actually, research shows that we really tend to undervalue the happiness that ordinary moments bring us to lives. One of my favorite studies here is about researcher asking participants to create a digital time capsule. And in that digital time capsule, participants were asked to include a recent conversation with a friend, a memory of a last social event they attended, the extract of something they have written recently, and finally their three favorite songs. So very simple pieces of life, very simple pieces of glimmers of happiness. And participants were asked to predict how much happiness these ordinary moments would bring them when they open this digital capsule again in 3 months. And guess what? Of course, everyone said, well, I don't think so. Those moments will bring me that much joy and happiness. But actually, what happened was that the moment they revisited those ordinary moments, people happiness increased, and people were surprised how much happiness thinking about those simple moments brought to their life. So what you can do here is create some kind of simple system when you can be collecting ordinary, extraordinary moments of your life where you really feel happy, fulfilled, and have a record of that. So I have a digital folder. I call it a feel good folder, in which I put some of my reflections about happy moments. I put there emails or messages or random acts of kindness, specific pictures that bring me joy. So again, I create that digital folder in which I track and record of that memory. You can also have a physical box. And also, what's really fun to do is ask your friends and family to write a letter to you or an email to you with some of their memories of you when you were at your happiest. Because I think, again, it's such an interesting insight to get from people when they see us when they see us happy. What do they see? Why do they think we are happy? How do we express it? I think it's really beautiful way to collect more stories. But the idea is that you're collecting stories of happy memories, and then you have a chance to reread them to understand what happiness truly means to you. It also is a great mood booster. So sometimes when I have a blue day, I definitely like to read some of those memories, come back to those compliments from other people to really boost my self belief and overall happiness. But it's a wonderful practice to collecting insights about your happiness in life. Okay, so we have those five really good insights that you can start collecting to understand your happiness. And I really hope that this episode will inspire you to just have a closer look into your happiness. So it becomes something very individual, very specific for you. It's so easy sometimes to label ourselves happy, unhappy, but actually, by collecting some data of what that means to us, we can create happiness that is meaningful to us. I think even more important in the world when we have so much social comparison with other people, we have lots of prescriptions of what happy life should look like. But what does that mean to you? So I see you in the next episode, and I dare you to be happy. Bye.